Hey guys, welcome to the CBZ Rack Show, the hottest, littest and coolest show for schoolboy rugby coming out of Zimbabwe, and we've been covering it and it's been going global. All your feedback has been absolutely incredible. We want it to keep on coming. You can catch it all on Kyros Sports. My name is Robbie Durant, and welcome to Ruvi.
Oh yes, it has been great. There's just so much to talk about. This weekend also was lit with a lot of rugby action. Robbie, you were at the Sevens and at Peter House, and I believe that Sevens rugby is growing with that particular initiative. But looking at what is coming up this week, we focus on Lomagundi and their 40th anniversary. Well, congratulations to you. Unfortunately, the congratulations didn't come with it. But anyway, we're going to be talking a bit more about that. Then we're also going to review our weekend games. That is both the Lomagundi versus Falcon as well as the Peter House Sevens, and looking at how that went through, the winners. And we're also going to take a look at the Nutri-Active plays of the week, as well as the Kyros Sports worldwide tracker as to who's doing what, who's really making it big out there. And then, of course, we look at fine servants of the game. We look at two coaches there, very important. Sean D'Souza is almost on his way to his assignment, and so we're going to be wishing him the best of luck, as well as Ivan Peterson, who has got a very, very interesting assignment of raising under 13 boys to represent at national team level. So there's going to be a whole lot of discussion around that. And then, of course, we do have our presenter's license and discussing issues around what has happened in other spheres of rugby. We've got a couple of club rugby results, as well as congratulations to the women's Cheetahs.
Well, going on to congratulations, Lomagundi celebrating their 40th anniversary. Congratulations. A little bit hard done by. First time that they've been beaten by Falcon since 1994.
That is a long, long time.
Sure.
A huge record there, but there was absolutely nothing you could take away from the game. It had the thrills, it had the spills, it had dull moments, it had bright moments, it had absolutely everything. But they have contributed quite significantly to schoolboy rugby and even on the international scene. I think we can talk about more recently. We have had the likes of the Chinwadas, Edward Sigauke, as well as Tanaka Chinyanga, all of them coming from Lomagundi, and they are representing the Zimbabwe under-20 side, all of them Bart's Trophy winners. So that is a fantastic contribution. Also looking at their head coach for rugby, that is Bob Mahari. He is a former student of Lomagundi. He's gone back and look at the kind of job that he's doing. I mean, from the very first year that he just took over the Bisons, they were just electric. They came and blew our minds at the school's rugby festival at Prince Edward, and we're like, wow, he's building something significant.
Well, we all know that it was a massive day at Gundy, celebrating their 40th. We have an insert of the teachers watching the game, proudly brought to you by CBZ Bank, as well as you can catch it all on Kyros. Check this out with the teachers watching.
Falcon win. Wow, that was too close.
Yeah!
Hey, what they give?
Well, you're checking out the teachers there and the celebrations of, and this is what the CBZ Rack Show and CBZ is bringing to you, the viewer, where you can watch it on a big screen and make sure that you get all the excitement and all the enjoyment.
Oh yes, I mean they had to breathe a huge sigh of relief. That
was tight.
Yeah, that final knock on there, just allowing Falcon to come up with the victory. But we're going to be looking a little bit more into that when we get into the next segment. But congratulations to you, Lomagundi College, for making all the contributions, whether it's hockey, whether it's we're looking at cricket. I mean, right now the current Chevron's captain. Craig Irvine was at Lomagundi College, and he was a fantastic player. Believe me, even back in my high school days, I saw him playing, and we always knew he was a gem. So congratulations to you, Lomagundi, for making a fantastic contribution to sport, and in particular to schoolboy rugby.
Well, I've just got to say, Makoro Koto, I'm learning my Shona. We're going to come back with the preview of this last weekend's games.
Tabatana.
Every achievement, every record broken, every standing ovation, every proud moment is a product of an empowering relationship. At CBZ, we believe in the strength of partnerships and growing together. Together, we have collaborated in building roads, offices, homes, and bridges. We have partnered in the fields, have gone down shafts, and blasted quarries, all while protecting assets, managing investments, safeguarding wealth, and helping you transact. We have supported big and small businesses and the ones in between with a helping hand or sound advice. As we celebrate what has been, we look ahead towards what can be. And while we can count how long we have been around, our achievements will always be quantified by your success. CBZ, Partners for Success.
Welcome back to the CBZ Rack Show. You're with me, Robbie Durant and Rovimbo. We want you to follow us. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms and make sure you check us out on Kyros Sports. Right, big game, Gandhi versus Falcon. It was nail-biting, but Gandhi couldn't do it.
Yeah, look, I think it was nail-biting even from the second team game.
Yeah.
They could not be separated. It ended 12-12. And I think it was just a precursor of what was going to happen with the first team game. For Lomagundi, I think where the challenge actually came was the fact that within the first half, they didn't score enough the points. They had more of the momentum. Falcon was still struggling to get out of first gear within that first half. And to consider that they had taken out quite a lot of their star players and put them on the bench and were going to use them as a bomb squad. And so they went to the halftime break only leading 3 points to nil. That was a penalty goal conversion. And I must say, Munyaradzi Chinyada had a fantastic first half and also generally had a very good game. The number 10 from Lomagundi, the number 9 always on the ball, that is Makuyana. Mixed up their names there. It's Tafadzwa Chinyada and then it's Munyaradzi Makuyana. Jeez. Anyway, it shows how I'm getting on.
That's the first mistake you've made all season. So let's give him some props.
First knock on.
First knock on.
And so they had a fantastic game. But once Falcon put on their bomb squad, and their bomb squad consisted of man of the match Vuyani Ngube, consisted of Ralph Tekede, also brought on quite a number of other youngsters who you would have expected to have been in there. Tafadzwa Chisungo as well, who had played fly-half in the second game. It was just a barrage after a barrage, and the winning try that then was scored by Vuyani Ngube was absolutely phenomenal. Sure. He just came in there with the influence. He scored the try. He scored a penalty goal conversion. He converted the try that he scored. He just had this huge impact coming onto the field of play. But Lomagundi almost stole it at the death, coming with a try through Curtis Mashonganyika, who came on as a sub, impact player, scored the try. And then their number 12, I believe that's a Chitene, breaks out. He's in the clear. He's trying to go for it. A tackle comes from behind. He knocks it on, and that was the end of the game. Man. So losing 18-15. It was unfortunate for Lomagundi. It was unfortunate for the Bisons. But this time round, it looks like the Mad Dogs got their pound of flesh and they chewed a little bit out of the Bisons there.
Absolutely. Well, I thought Springboks are the only ones that have bomb squads, but now it's happening at schools as well. But good work on Falcon for that win. As obviously in Gandhi, we're just going to say congratulations again. Peterhouse, it all happened. There was the sevens. We had 8 schools in total. You had Prince Edward, Wiesel, who came out and absolutely blew everyone away, hammering Prince Edward in the final. a big score. They just absolutely nailed it. Their number 12 was absolutely outstanding. They got player of the tournament as well. Thank you to CBZ, who actually were there to present a award for the player of the tournament, as well as to the captain. We have got all those highlights, and you can check it out.
So, tap and lulling everyone into a false sense of security there is Wise Owl, but ball is available. They go to the left, step, but runs into a very firm shoulder. But he is not completed. The tackle is not completed. Ball is available. Wise Owl. So, of the 3 or so possessions Wise Owl have had, they have come out with the try, but for the Prince Edward, the same cannot be said. So this is Wise Owl, maybe their 4th possession or so, and looking to cause more damage. Wise Owl doing very well to keep that ball alive. The speedster has broken the first tackle. Cover defense coming. Will he haul him in? No, he cannot. Wise Owl go bang, bang is the call.
Well, it's game on, yeah. If they can get a try, yeah. Here it comes. Massive fend. Right under the poles.
So immediately, Prince Edward, can they do something to the scoreboard to bring some respectability? But losing the ball in possession like that will not. Wise Owl on the hunt. Can they put the exclamation mark? Not on that occasion. Prince Edward, again, with an opportunity to free up the arms, but choosing not to. And I think that's been the Achilles of Prince Edward in this encounter, that Wise Owl have been able to do very well, keep that ball alive. And as the countdown from the crowd is going,
Well, Ruby, the good thing about that sevens, there was a development from under 14s all the way through. The under 16 St. George's was outstanding. So was Peterhouse. I mean, you're looking at those teams, under 15s, under 16s. The quality of play that was coming out of Peterhouse, St. George's, it's mouth-watering stuff, absolutely. So we really have got some good stuff coming through. The nice thing about the sevens was we could showcase them on our pages, probably brought to you by CBZ Bank, and that was through the Kyros pages as well.
Oh, yeah. So how important was it in particular for Wise Owl to get that victory against Prince Edward? I know it's a sevens, and others might just be finicky and start saying, how Wise Owl can beat Prince Edward. Hold your horses. Sevens and 15s are a different kettle of fish, but we must commend Wise Owl for the journey that they've taken and how far they have come.
Well, Ravi, if you're putting a Prince Edward versus a Wise Owl, you kind of think you're going to know the result. When I was sitting in that commentary and just watching Wise Owl, they are quick, they are fast, they are big, they are talented, they've got the skill. If I was a head coach of one of these big schools, I'd be sitting at Wise Owl looking and saying, hey guys, 12, 11, 3, 2, you're coming my way. But anyway, look, it was fantastic. It's always nice to see, let's say, an underdog come through and win. I've just got to say congratulations to Wise Owl. And once again, CBZ Bank, just for bringing rugby to the world, and that's what we are doing. Schoolboy rugby that has just been so good this year.
Oh yes, absolutely. Well, as for now, we are going to be taking a short break, but when we do come back, we look at the Nutri-Active Plays of the Week, as well as the Kyros Sports Worldwide Tracker.
Welcome back to the CBZ Rug Show, our Nutri-Active Play of the Week. It's all about Gundy versus Falcon.
Oh yes, it definitely is. We've got 2 plays of the week that came out from that one. first and foremost, the brilliant try scored by Vuyani Ngube. You can say it's almost an individual effort, but all thanks to the ball that came from Kolwani Moyo. You know how he can send those bullet passes over the top, and he was able to find him in free space. Once he got on his bike, there was no one stopping him. I mean, we just watched him just railroad through everyone and then maze his way through to the try line. So that was the first play of the week, and that one was literally what gave them the winning points. But Lomagundi were not to be outdone.
There's a big but.
Big but. Curtis Mashonganyika being at the end of what was fantastic team play from Lomagundi. I mean, isn't it brilliant when you can actually see forwards pop the ball, pass the ball, and get it running down the line, stretch the defense of Falcon. Falcon were in 6s and 7s, trying to jump on all these Lomagundi players, but the ball was just going through their hands.
Forwards do have skills as well. Forwards have skills as well. Come on.
As a backline player, I know forwards just hit. They work at the breakdown.
Who gives you the ball? Who gives you the ball?
Said from a forward.
Yeah,
so it was absolutely phenomenal. So I think you need to take a look at how these tries were actually scored.
Oh, hasn't he also put in the hard yards? Ball comes out. Falcon now looking to counter-attack. Oh, the ball has been sent out. Looks for the inside pop pass. Vuyani Ngube, he's broken away. He's going. Nobody can stop him. Is he going to go for the try? It looks like he is. And right under the sticks. The line out again is quite poor, but Makweyana picks it up. Chinyadza sends it down to Mpamadzi. Mpamadzi decides to cut back inside. He has gone through 2-3 tackles. He has sent it out. Lomagundi have an opportunity. Out to Curtis Mashonganyika. It is going to be try time. Oh my gosh.
Well, we're back. That was the Nutri-Active Play of the Week. It certainly was exciting stuff out there at Lomagundi. And your opinion, Ruvi, of maybe the try that's really stood out here on the CBZ Ruck Show and what we've covered?
I think
It's not
it's
easy.
hard. It's a super duper hard. I think from the start of the season, Chitendeni, there was that kind of controversial one which came off the chest, but the way that it was then picked up, sent down the line and ran all the way to the try line, that's one. Emmanuel Maguta corner, Peterhouse versus Hellenic, kick and chase. You go and you grab your own ball and you get that try. Then another one from Falcon, Tatenda Runyoa from a set piece, leaves St. George's bamboozled, and you go and you score that try. Then, of course, the one which we saw this weekend from Lomagundi as well as Vuyani Ngube. I think we've got a cocktail right now of tries, and I'm sure we are going to be going through that. And by the time we get to the end of the season, we'll definitely know who will ultimately walk away with the try of the season.
Well, there were lots of tries. I think the one that stands out for me was Peterhouse versus Johns last weekend. That Shama Jackson is just absolutely incredible, where Macmillan went blind, passed it to Flav, delay pass slightly to Jackson, and then the individual brilliance of that young man, the pace, and then the swerve to come back inside when the defense was coming across. He swerved back inside. It was just absolutely class. So that's kind of my one right on the top there, and I'm still damn cross about that that Falcon one where against Johns at Johns where that was disallowed. I think that could have been close to the try of the season.
Oh yes, most definitely. But would also love to hear your thoughts and your comments. So make sure you comment in the comment section on the Kyros Sports social media platforms. Let us know which one do you think is your try for the season. But we need to move on, Rob. We need to take a look at the Kyros Sports Worldwide Tracker.
Welcome back to the Kyros Sports Worldwide Tracker, and we are following players out there that are doing outstandingly well, and we bring it to you on the CBZ Rack Show. We've got Cyril Charai, who we are following. He captained the Sharks under 16s.
Oh yes, and he's done a phenomenal job for himself. Actually was at Petra Primary School all the way through, and then did Form 1 at CBC, and how CBC would actually need him right now because they aren't in the best of spaces. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day. But he then went on to South Africa, and with just in the space of 3 years, he's now playing right at the top of South African rugby, provincial rugby, one would say, and doing really well for himself. So it just goes on to show that we are producing the talent. It is now a question of, can we retain them? What are some of the structures we need to put in place so that we can attract them to come back and play for our Zim sides? And I think that's a discussion that will continue with Mr. Aaron Jani, Mr. Lawson Mtungwiza, Mr. Martin Shone, and everybody else within the ZRU executive.
Sports Worldwide Tracker is what is bringing you all the talent from across the globe, and we're going to keep on doing that. We've got our Servants of Rugby, which is coming up next. Stay tuned for that.
CBZ Bank brings you more convenience and more smiles. Introducing CBZ Remit. Now you can send and receive Forex anywhere in Zimbabwe without a bank account. No hassles, no stress. CBZ Remit is safe, secure, fast and reliable. Who can use CBZ Remit? Anyone. CBZ Remit is perfect for both CBZ account holders and non-account holders. To send or collect cash, all you need is your national ID or valid passport. US dollars or rands accepted. Receive your cash at any CBZ branch near you. 40 branches available nationwide for your convenience. CBZ Remit is very affordable. Charges only 2% of the money sent. Send and receive your Forex anywhere in Zimbabwe with CBZ Remit today. CBZ Bank, partners for success.
Currently half-time at all the Arabians, and the score is 13-10. A slow start to the game, which is eventually picked up. And, Sean predicted that this game would open up. But this particular moment in time, I'm going to put him under the microscope and ask him what his future plans are after this. And he'll probably be coy on them, but it will be exciting to know what he has planned for the under-20s and what he has planned for Zimbabwe rugby.
Ivan, it's a journey, and the journey, it's not an event. So I think it's the process. We've got to trust the process and take it a step at a time. Junior World Trophy is our target at hand. The dream is to qualify for the championship, but yeah, let's go through July, and then hopefully we can tell you a different story when we get back.
Currently this year, your best year players are 2004, 2005 for this year's under-20. What are your current plans for next year? Have you started registration, or have you started a database for players who are still in school at the moment? And what are your plans for them? Because we're really excited. We're enjoying the journey. And the school kids, the boys themselves, are actually turning around and asking, how do I become part of the under-20 side? How do I become part of the under-20 selection? What advice can you give them?
Okay, the process at the moment, the current crop is 2003, 2004 are the rookies of the crop. My philosophy has always been to have a certain percentage within the squad of the younger boys, so that they learn the philosophy and the way the team thinks and the way the team feeds into the system. So yeah, we keep in a good number of the youngsters, which are the 2004s this year, and the senior players, the 2003s. Because we're going to a Junior World Trophy, obviously the best player will make the cut. That doesn't determine which age group you fall under. But in our system, we do have the 2004s who are part of the high performance academy setup, and then we're looking at the 2005s coming to join in after the A-level window. That's when we start our open camp, where we invite all the players that are interested to be part of the system to come and try out. It's in the November-December window, which is holiday time. And even the guys from university, some of them are back home. They're definitely all welcome to come in and try their luck for the high-performance team.
Thanks on that, Sean. And I think the next big thing, Sean, is with the success you've had, I think we've gone to a couple of under-20 tournaments. We've gone to Craven Week, we've gone to the Academy Week, we've gone to the Grand Tumkomo weeks. But you've had major success, Sean. And I think one of the best pictures that was on Facebook was you waking up next to the trophy. And I'm sure a lot of coaches, we kind of like saying to ourselves, I wish that was me. So, you know, the big thing is you have, like I said, you've done well. And would you at some point, you know, in your career, give us a blueprint to your success, write it down, you know, and distribute it, because it's working. There's something that you're doing that's working, and we would love to actually follow it up as well.
Ivan, that's a good point. The one thing that we lack is cohesion within our coaching systems. Coaches don't really want to share what they've done. But I think if you notice from the time I've taken over the under-20 system as head coach, I've put a lot of stuff on social media. I've sort of made sure made sure that we put our footage out there. Reason being, it's not that I'm trying to hold back what the players are expressing. I actually want that to go out so that I then have to go back to the drawing board and improve my arsenal and my way of thinking, my philosophy, so that the players get better and I get better as a coach and we keep developing as a team.
And indeed, it has worked, because I think a couple of years back we were young Zuze. I remember 2017, 2018, where young Zuze was captaining a very, very good under-15 St. George's side, and he went up against Tanaka Ndoro. But now they're the best of buddies, and what Sean has done is he's brought that side together. He's brought everybody together, and we're looking forward to getting a blueprint from Sean on how to do things in the country, and it's working. So let's, if it's not broken, don't fix it. If it's working, we don't change it. But that was Sean for you. We're going back to the game.
Well, our fine servants of rugby, certainly Ivan Peterson has done incredibly well, incredible stuff, as well as Sean D'Souza. I mean, you know, his intellectual property that he's created over the last 4 or 5 years, especially for the under-20s, is marvelous.
Oh, yes, and I think that's something that they should dig into. I think we heard a part of that conversation, him saying, look, I would love for spaces where we can actually sit down and discuss these things. Actually, Rob, it is an example that is there in New Zealand. Did you know that Super Rugby coaches, particularly in New Zealand, get to sit down and they actually tell each other the truth? The reason why I'm beating you is because of this particular point here and there. And that way, that's why we find the Super Rugby in New Zealand is so close in terms of points. It's just a 31-32 game, 35-34, and things like that. So we need to get to that point whereby there are no big score lines between ourselves, and that we are also pushing in the same direction so that we can achieve what we want to achieve for Zimbabwe.
Well, rugby is a team game, and it's about sharing that intellectual property, whether you as a team or whether you are as a coach. So let's hope that down the line Zimbabwe starts putting together, we start sharing our ideas, especially coming from an astute coach like Sean D'Souza. Coming up next, we do have our presenter's license where Ruvi and I can say what we want. We are covering some club rugby that's coming up. Stay tuned.
With CBZ Touch, pay for whatever you want, transacting on the go. With CBZ Touch, a diorama bills, take insurance special loan. With CBZ Touch, pay for whatever you want, transacting on the go. With CBZ Touch, a diorama bills, take insurance special loan.
We are on the final segment. It is the presenter's license where Ruvi and I can dissect and say what we want when it comes to rugby in general, schoolboy rugby or whatever. We have the right to do that on our presenter's license, brought to you by CBZ Raksha and CBZ Bank. Ruvi, we're unwrapping a little bit of club rugby that's happened.
Oh yes, there were a couple of results that came through from the Paramount Government Senior Championship. It's currently underway. It's been running behind the scenes. Yes, we haven't been doing too much of covering of that because everybody's saying, will Peterhouse win? Are they up the rankings? It's all right, guys. Don't worry. This weekend, you won't have to worry too much. There aren't too many fixtures that are happening, so we're not going to be focusing too much on that. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the results that came through, particularly from the Premiership. And that was Harare Sports Club beating Pitbulls, who actually are playing their first season in the Senior Men's League. We know that they've dominated the Under-20 League for many years, only to have been dethroned by Old Georgians this year. But they lost out just by an odd 11 points, 36-25 to Harare Sports Club. And then Old Georgians, they being turned over by Marasta. That is Old Hararians, 32-23 in favor of Marasta there. And then a fantastic result out at Mutare Sports Club for Old Crestonians, beating the more fancied Mutare Sports Club 27-5. And that is an interesting result, Rob.
Well, I think the one that stands out for me is the Old Georgians Barbarians winning 94-10 to the Glenwood Stars. So coached there by Matt Tambling and certainly building the momentum for, who knows, there might be a step up for the next season. But good work there by the boys. They're coming together, and absolutely great work by the coaches there, as well as Kieran, the manager.
Oh, yes. We would not want to forget our women's results as well. All Georgians Pitbulls, they're losing out just slightly to Police Defenders, 22-12. And then Zimbiru, they continue on their fantastic journey, their fantastic trek. And they went out and beat FS Raiders 43-7. Now, FS Raiders won't be too worried by that because FS Raiders have dominated the women's circuit for years as well. They won't be too worried about that because many of their ladies had gone out to represent the women's cheetahs, and we're going to be talking about what they achieved out there. But we've got some fixtures coming up, Rob, that is for this weekend, and we'll quickly get into them. So let's look at some Premiership action. So Harare Sports Club will play the University of Zimbabwe. Most of the action will be happening at Old Hararians. That is for all those that will be played in Harare. We've also got an All-Star Women Exhibition match that will be played at Prince Edward. You don't want to miss out on that one. And then we'll also have Prince Edward taking on Alan Wilson. All of this is happening at Prince Edward. We've got the Zim Under-20 side. This is their final preparation side, which was announced just earlier on this week. They'll be taking on a Zimbabwe A side. I believe many of the players will be coming from the Goshawks set up, and that promises to be really good. Old Crestonians will take on Old Georgians. That's out in Mutare, whilst Pitbulls will be hosted by the Shumbas of Mutare Sports Club. So it's also going to be tooth for tooth for that one. Pitbulls meet some Lions there. So it promises to be a really good weekend of rugby. So whether you're in Harare, you can go to Old Hararians, you can watch some women's as well as Division 1 rugby. Whether you're at Prince Edward, you can watch some Premiership as well as a good exhibition match. And then, of course, if you're out in Mutare, you can also do the same.
Well, just before we get on to the Lady Cheetahs, the only fixtures that we do have this weekend, Hellenic taking on Lomagundi. And that's going to be quite an encounter. Lomagundi going to be bouncing back, obviously, from hurting from that loss. So that's going to be happening at Hellenic, and we're hopefully going to be bringing you that on the CBZ Raksha on Kyros Sport. So don't miss that. Ruvi, the Lady Cheetahs, you were talking about that. You really want them to be the women cheetahs, don't you?
Oh yes, I do.
A big congratulations needs to go out to these ladies. For the incredible work that they have done in the Olympic qualifiers.
Oh yes, it was a tournament that many would have felt that they did not deserve to be in. I think those ladies are fantastic rugby players, and the side that was assembled by Cyprian Mandenge, to think he only had approximately a week and a half to work on these ladies prior to going to this tournament in Lusaka. Well done to you, Cyprian Supermandenge. I hope that you do get more and more resources to work with these girls so that they can prepare for the Olympic qualifiers tournament. Now, don't forget, their tournament for the Olympic qualifiers will be happening in Tunisia, whilst for the men, we are blessed that we're going to be on home turf, but it's not going to be an easy tournament. Kenya, Uganda, Namibia, South Africa, all of them are all coming for the men's tournament. Whilst for the women's tournament, Kenya, Uganda, South Africa, all of them as well will be going up to Tunisia. It's going to be different temperature, different climatic issues to deal with there, but also at the same time, we say, go, Lady Cheetahs, go. We want you to succeed. We want you to make it to the Olympics. Can you imagine how big that would be?
Absolutely incredible. And I think, the ladies are certainly stalwarts. They are fighting for it. They're empowering themselves. So congratulations, ladies. Makoro Koto, very well done. He still wants you to be called the Women's Cheetahs. So let's fight for that. Also, just covering what Ruvi said, we have got the men's Olympic qualifiers happening in Harare at Sports Club. That's happening on the 16th and 17th of September. That's going to be mouth-watering stuff.
Oh, yes, and we're just going to be following all of that action as it comes through. But anyway, Rob, we could go hours and hours on end talking about rugby because it's the sport that we love. But I think it brings us to the end of the show, eh?
Well, Ruvi, it's been a goodie. Thank you very much. Right, that's a wrap for the CBZ Rug Show for today. Make sure that you tune in. Check out Kyros Sports on all our platforms to watch the games live on Saturday, as well as obviously watch this show, which comes out every single Thursday. From us, from the CBZ Rug Show, Ruvi, myself, cheerio.